Lincoln is home. My wife and I both grew up here. We both graduated from the university and we both went to high school together.
And we've got 2 little boys, Theo, who's 2, and Cameron, who's 2 months. So they keep us on our toes. Theo is very goofy, silly. He loves to kind of joke around and laugh and make other people laugh. Cameron is really starting to be awake more, so we can do more playing. Been busy with tummy time, and he's really starting to smile a lot. He's very smiley.
The evening of January 4th, our son Cameron at that time was 12 days old, and he developed a bit of a sinus infection. We didn't really think much of it. It wasn't too bad. He wasn't running a crazy fever or anything.
We were loading up the car to go to our doctor's appointment.
As I was about to close that door to the back seat, I just remembered taking a second look. And he was purple. He was, the strongest color of purple that you could probably imagine. I screamed for my wife. He's gasping for air. Can't get any.
So my husband got on the phone with 911.
911, where's your emergency?
I have a 2-week-old child turning purple.
What address are you at?
I kind of took him out of his car seat as fast as I could.
Kim's holding him, and the life is fading away.
I have a very vivid memory of holding him and looking at him and being like, this is it, he's dying in my arms. We, only get to have him for 2 weeks.
I answered 911, and I hear on the other end Bill's voice telling me his baby's not breathing.
He's just blue,
2 weeks?
turning purple, gasping for breath. He can't, his eyes are kind of rolling back.
I'm gonna tell you exactly what to do. We're getting help on the way.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
Oh my God.
Immediately says, okay, you're gonna need to start CPR. Do you know how to do CPR? Yeah. We learned it a couple years ago, but in that moment, nope. She starts guiding us through CPR.
Okay, I want you to place your hand on the baby's forehead and your other hand under the baby's neck. Slightly tilt the head back and completely cover the baby's mouth and nose with your mouth, and then blow 2 puffs of air. And watch for his chest to go up with each breath.
Okay, I'm watching.
Okay.
She just very calmly walked us through every single step.
Okay, place 2 fingers on the breastbone right in between his nipples. Push down about 1.5 inches.
Okay.
Pump his chest hard and fast 30 times.
Eventually, he started to cry. He started to whimper a little bit, and he came back.
Good job, little guy.
About 30 seconds later, first responders showed up and whisked him away. And the doctors at Bryan basically said, we're not exactly comfortable sending him home with everything that just happened. We would like to send him to Children's Hospital. We spent the next, 24 to 36 hours at Children's Hospital with a team of doctors there, kind of going over what could have happened, what might have happened. Let's do a few more tests, figure out if there's anything seriously wrong. And by 6 o'clock the following day, it was almost like his virus has faded. He was healthy, and they told us they felt comfortable sending us home. To bring him home 30 hours after he almost died was terrifying. We don't exactly know what happened. Their best guess is that he had some sort of virus, that he got some mucus caught in his airway, and he couldn't expel it. His tiny lungs, his tiny airways just weren't developed enough to get it out. But they're not sure. So, there's always that little thing in the back of your head that's worried that something like that could happen again. We were taught infant CPR before our first child. You never think that you're gonna have to use it.
I was in such a panic when we were on the phone with 911 that it was very helpful having that calm person on the line walking us through it when I kind of mentally was all over the place. The thing that probably shocked me the most was learning that the 911 dispatchers legally don't have to know CPR. I kind of just assumed that was required for part of their job.
t-CPR, or telecommunicator CPR, is when a first responder or a dispatcher, when you call 911, is able to coach someone through performing CPR. Every year, over 350,000 Americans have a cardiac arrest outside of the hospital, and it's tragic that only 1 in about 10 of them survive these events. But if we can increase t-CPR, if the skill sets of the dispatchers, if they're trained and can help coach through the callers, there's a 51% greater likelihood of survival for those who are receiving it. Being coached through it effectively and having someone trained on the other side of the phone that can talk you through proper technique, that can talk you through timing, that can encourage you to keep going, really helps save lives.
As a 911 dispatcher in our center, everybody is trained. We take a CPR course. We learn how to actually do it. We have practice, and then we're trained on how to give the instructions. I cannot imagine working in a 911 center, taking a call from somebody where their loved one isn't breathing, and all I'm able to do is get an ambulance to drive to them. I want to help them as help is getting to them. I think it should be mandatory for 911 centers to be able to provide that service.
Without dispatcher-aided CPR, we had no idea what to do in that moment. And thanks to Lisa, we were able to bring Cameron back.
The American Heart Association would love to ensure that this training for t-CPR is a requirement for all 911 telecommunicators who provide dispatch for emergency medical conditions. So we want to make sure that no matter what zip code you live in, no matter what area you live in, you have the support to be able to help save a life.
I think it's really important just because you never know when your family or a friend might need CPR, but also if you're just out in the community and a stranger has a health issue, you would still be able to jump in and help save them. I mean, I think it definitely saved his life because the ambulance got to our house very quickly, but when you're only 13 days old, I feel like minutes can be a matter of life or death.
Without a dispatcher on the other end who knew CPR and knew what to do and knew how to communicate it to a parent in the worst moment of their life, I'm not sure where our son would be.